Welcome back, Cubs. Direwolf here. And today I want to talk about something a little different. A lot of my videos are on very negative and very serious topics, and they are, in a word, depressing. And one of my Cubs sent me an email saying if I didn't give him a positive, uplifting video, he was probably going to kill himself. And I don't want that, because that's bad for business, and I care about you guys. As you guys know, I do read my emails, I do read my comments, and I do listen to my Cubs. So today's video is going to be a video about the good guys saving the day. A video about people using legally owned firearms to save their lives and the lives of people they love. This first video is an intense 911 call with a terrified woman who just heard someone trying to break into her house. She hid in her bathroom with her gun, and as you'll see, the intruder breaks into her house. The entire event was recorded, even when the intruder broke into the bathroom, started beating her up, and nearly took her gun away. But she managed to shoot him and survive, because she had a legally owned firearm that she knew how to use.
Phoenix 911, where is the emergency?
Hello, 911?
Hey, please help me. Somebody's trying to get in my house.
What are they doing?
They tied my front door and my side door, and now they're trying to break in my back gate.
Okay, stay on the line with me. I've already got officer started. Do not hang up, okay?
All right, I have a gun in my hand. I'm terrified.
Okay. I've got officers already on the way. I'm going to keep you on the phone until the officers get there, okay? You said that they're trying the back gate now?
I think they're in the back now.
Okay, so first the front door.
Somebody's in the back and on my porch.
Someone's on your porch?
Please hurry, please.
Okay, ma'am, they're coming out there as fast as they can. Can you see anybody? I'm not asking you to look, but did you see anyone? Like, are there any open windows?
Somebody's banging on my Arcadia door.
Okay, are you expecting anybody?
No.
Okay.
There's no vehicles out front of my driveway. Now somebody's walking around my back porch.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to keep you on the phone until the officers get there, okay? Do not hang up. Yeah, I've got a lot of officers coming out there.
It just broke in.
It just broke?
Yeah, they broke my Arcadia door.
Okay, yeah, I've got them coming out there. They're coming out as fast as they can. Have you heard any voices?
No, they're coming in right now.
Okay, tell me if you see them. Tell me what they look like, how many of them are, whether they're men, women.
I just saw one.
Just saw one? Okay, did you see a person, or did you see, like, the shadow of a person?
Person, green hoodie. They're coming in right now. Please, please, please.
Yeah, they're coming out as fast as they can. I promise you, they're coming out there as fast as they can. I've got a lot of officers responding. And as everything you're telling me, I'm typing, and the dispatcher's giving it to them immediately. They're getting all this information.
They're breaking out my window.
Are you in your bedroom, or?
I'm in my bathroom.
Okay, yeah, they're coming out as fast as they can. I've got a lot of officers responding. Is there an alley behind your house?
Yes.
You back up to the canal, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you don't need to answer anything. I'm going to stand in line with you, okay?
At this moment, the intruder burst into the bathroom, lunging at her, knocking the phone out of her hands, knocking her to the ground, wrestling her for the gun, and punching her repeatedly in the head. She was not ready to shoot, she hesitated to shoot, and because of that, now she's fighting for her life. You didn't hear, but right at that moment, the woman got enough control of the gun to shoot the scumbag, forcing him to retreat and collapse in the doorway to the bathroom.
What was that? What was that? What was that? What did you do?
What happened?
What did you do? Did you just beat me up and shit there? Sorry. What did you tell me right now for? Oh, no. I shot him.
You shot him?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, I've got everybody coming out for help, okay?
Please hurry. Don't get up or I'll shoot your ass again.
Okay, where did you shoot him? Ma'am, where did you shoot him at?
In my house, he's in my bathroom.
No, where is his body?
It goes to show how traumatized she is. She has no idea what he's asking.
Where in his body did you shoot him?
What?
Where in his body?
He's laying half in my bathroom and half in the hallway. Where in the body?
No, yeah, like, did you hit him?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay, do you recognize him? Is he somebody?
No, I don't recognize him.
Okay, so he came into the bathroom where you were?
I'm in the front bathroom.
Okay.
I said don't move.
What is he saying?
He said he thought the house was abandoned. Abandoned house with a car and locked gates and, yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe for a second he thought the house was abandoned. More likely he saw a 47-year-old woman living by herself and thought that was an easy victim. He was wrong.
He said before you knocked, you banged, you tried to get indoors. I heard you out there. Because why should I unlock the door? When you're rattling and beating on everything and trying to climb my fence. I'm not even going to talk to you.
Yeah, there's no need to. The officers give me their few. I've got just about every officer on that part of town is responding out there, okay?
Please get somebody here.
Yeah, they're coming out as fast as they can. Are you hurt at all?
I don't know. My face was bleeding. I'm bleeding from some places. I don't know where else. I don't know. He was beating on me.
He was hitting you?
He was beating on me when he found out I was in here.
This woman needed this gun not because her assailant had a gun, but because it's the only way she could defend herself against someone much larger and stronger than her. I'm 100% certain if this woman had not had a gun, this man intended to do harm. He could have done any number of terrible things to her, including but not limited to sexual assault and possibly have taken her life.
That's why I dropped the phone and I almost dropped the gun. I ended up shooting.
Okay. Okay, I've got them all coming out as fast as they can. They're arriving in the area now, okay?
Yeah.
If she'd been forced to wait for the police to arrive, she most likely would be dead. When you need the police in seconds, they're minutes away.
When you hear them at the door, you're gonna have to.
I'm not gonna walk off the top of the stairs.
No. I'm not gonna want you to leave the bathroom. Yeah, I'm gonna have them come to you, but you're gonna need to put the gun down, not near you.
I will.
Okay.
I'm here.
I'm going to wait till you see the officers before I disconnect, okay? I'm showing they are there. They should be coming inside.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Come on back. I put the gun down.
Okay, I'm going to let you go now. Okay? Okay. All right, bye-bye.
It is torture listening to someone go through so much pain and trauma, but it is encouraging knowing that her life was saved. And it is lives like hers that I reflect on when someone says they want to get rid of all guns, because it's lives like hers that would be lost if we ever did that. She fought well, but there's a lesson to be learned here, Cubs. If you are ever in a similar situation, get to the furthest back of the room, point your gun towards the door. If possible, put obstacles between the door and you. Keep your weapon pointed towards the center of the door. Do not become distracted, and as soon as someone opens that door, unload your entire magazine into them. Do not stop firing until they stop moving. And if you do that, you will not have to listen to their dumbass excuse trying to explain to you why they thought it was okay to break into your home to kill you. Because if someone breaks into your house and instead of starting to take things, tries to seek you out and find you, then they're not here for your things, they're here for you. The moment their target starts firing back, most intruders run. Because even if their guns are bigger, most intruders are cowards, and they're not looking for a fight. This next video shows that one firearm can be enough to scare off even heavily armed intruders.
4 armed suspects caught on tape trying to break into a Southwest Side home. The homeowner's own surveillance cameras helping deputies solve this case. News 4's David Marino has this story. New at 10.
The surveillance video captures it all.
It looks like this guy might have an AR with an extended magazine, and he obviously knows there's cameras because he's trying to cover his face. But I'm kind of curious how this dumbass plans to shoot accurately with one hand up to his face and only one hand holding the rifle.
4 suspects, armed and dangerous, attempting to invade a Southwest Side home.
The victim was able to get back inside his house, close his door, semi-barricade it, reach for a weapon that was easily accessible.
That's when you hear gunfire. The 4 men retreat, get into their car, but not before the homeowner's bullets hit the windshield. Pima County Sheriff's officials say the homeowner has surveillance cameras installed all around his house.
And that was just for his own home security.
You don't need an excuse to have security cameras. In fact, it's a very smart thing to do. Everyone who can afford them and can legally do it should have security cameras around their property, because it protects them from theft, scares off most intruders from even trying to break into your house, and can give you a very valuable warning prior to an attack to give you time to get to your firearm.
People living in the neighborhood heard all the gunshots and saw the aftermath.
Some stray bullets even hit a home across the street.
I was asleep when around noon Thursday, and I heard gunshots. Then I heard about 4 or 5 more shots go out in rapid succession. Then I heard his car squeal off.
I am very watchful from where we live, and I think everybody has a right to defend their property.
Pima County detectives did find the suspect's vehicle at a home near Cardinal and Valencia, but the 4 men are still on the run. One of the suspects has been identified as 23-year-old Jesus Mendeville. It's believed he was shot in the arm. The 3 other men are all described as Hispanic males between 17 and 25 years old. Anyone with information is asked to call 88 Crime.
This man did everything right. He had a readily accessible firearm, he had a good security system, and he was quick to act. The only thing I would encourage him to do is to go to the range a little more often and maybe improve his aim. This next video is a young 18-year-old mother successfully defending her life and the life of her young infant child from an intruder.
18-year-old Sarah McKinley says the operator told her she couldn't shoot until the man broke into her home, and the stunning moments that followed were all caught on tape. ABC's Ryan Owens has the story.
I wouldn't have done it, but it was my son. I had to protect him.
This young mother takes maternal instinct to a whole new level.
I walked over and got the 12 gauge, went in the bedroom and got the pistol and put the bottle in his mouth, and then I called 911.
18-year-old Sarah McKinley killed a man, she says, to protect her 3-month-old baby.
I'm here by myself with my infant baby. Can I please get a dispatcher out here immediately?
Late on New Year's Eve, police say 2 men, one armed with a 12-inch hunting knife, were trying to break into her home outside Oklahoma City. McKinley recognized one of them as someone she thought was stalking her.
He was from door to door trying to bust in. They said I couldn't shoot him until he come in the door.
Are your doors locked? Yes, I've got 2 guns in my hand. Is it okay to shoot him if he comes in the store?
I can't tell you that you can do that, but you do what you have to do to protect your baby.
I can't legally tell you to shoot him, but if and when you do, I'll use every bullet I have.
The teen mother killed the 24-year-old intruder the second he stepped inside. Police call the shooting justified.
And just like that, another bad guy bites the dust. Good job, teen mom. 2 more lives saved by legal gun ownership. This next video goes to show a family that kills together stays together. This guy picked the wrong house.
Police say a man breaking into a home in Winter Haven came face to face with 3 armed family members. Now he's dead. This was a little before 7 a.m. this morning on Lake Mariana Drive.
Police just released the identity of the man who they say broke into that home, 40-year-old Mitchell Large. And get this, who only lived less than a mile from the home he broke into. Winter Haven police searched for clues into what happened at this home early in the morning. Neighbors, though, had heard enough to come to a conclusion.
If this guy would have stayed home, he'd have been alive right now, you know.
Investigators say a break-in turned deadly when a family opened fire on the intruder.
That's the way that I would react. You know, I'd hate to do that. I'd hate to shoot anybody, but if it comes to me or them, I would.
I do not feel bad about it. I'm happy to take one more violent person off the streets.
Detectives say the Pena family, a mother, father, and adult son, woke up to the sound of someone trying to get into their home. We're told one of them fired a warning shot as the stranger broke in through a back door.
Do not shoot warning shots. Only shoot at something that you want to kill. If you want to be dumb and yell out, "Hey, I have a gun," to scare them off, you can do that. Just do not fire warning shots. I cannot stress that enough. Don't waste a bullet that you might need later, and you also don't know what damage or harm that stray bullet might do. Bullets can ricochet, and particularly when they hit something at an angle, they create shrapnel that can also hurt someone.
That warning shot did not deter the intruder. The intruder didn't retreat.
Chief Gary Hester says the man made it to the kitchen, and by then, all 3 family members were armed.
It appears that at least 2 of the family members fired in defense of themselves and their property.
The intruder died in the Pena's home. Police say he was not armed, but Chief Hester says it appears the Penas still might have had every right to fire their weapons.
I mean, that's your castle that reported intruders coming into. So whether he was armed or not armed, when he failed to retreat, they certainly had a right, if it turns out to be this way, would have a right to defend themselves.
As it turned out, that is what happened, and they were not punished for doing the right thing and protecting their home and family. A lack of a deadly weapon does not make someone not a threat. Good job. 3 more lives saved. In this video, we see the man in the dark shirt and the light-colored pants who is being very belligerent, yelling at and arguing with the gas station attendant. The shorter bald man in the back is a firearms instructor and is going to be pulled into this conflict and be forced to use his firearm. Even though the firearms instructor's actions are not 100% perfect in hindsight, he goes through great lengths to not use his firearm until he had no other option. He attempts to retreat and to de-escalate the situation, only using his firearm when he's literally forced into a corner, and then use the minimum amount of force required to resolve the situation. By this point, the firearms instructor in the black shirt and the blue jean pants is starting to realize that the other man is acting aggressively and irrationally and is starting to see him as a threat. And you'll see that when the other man tries to get him involved in his pointless argument, he shifts his body so that his firearm, which he's openly carrying on his hip, is away from the attacker. The firearms instructor makes his purchase while the other man continues to try to argue with the gas station attendant. For a moment, it seems as though the man's about to leave, but he comes back, picks something off the ground, and throws it in the face of the gas station attendant. He leaves again, and the firearms instructor follows him out, heading to his own car. The man realizes that the firearms instructor may be trying to get his license plate and quickly gets in the way of the license plate and confronts him. The man then turns his anger on the firearms instructor, and the firearms instructor very smartly retreats back to the gas station where there are witnesses and cameras, and avoids having to struggle for his weapon while in a hand-to-hand fight with the assailant. And right at this moment, as the man follows him through the threshold and he turns around to face the man, he draws his weapon. By keeping his distance and retreating to the gas station and keeping his holster side away from the assailant, he's able to safely draw his weapon. Even after he draws his weapon, the man continues to attack and pursue him. The instructor continues to retreat and repeatedly pushes the man off, all the while warning him that he feels his life is in danger and that he will shoot him if he does not back off. The instructor warns the attacker and tries to de-escalate the situation as much as possible. He continues to wrestle with the attacker, only using his left hand because he still believes he has enough control of the situation that he does not need to take the man's life, and because he still believes he has an avenue to escape. But that all changes when the attacker literally forces him into a corner. With nowhere to go, if the attacker does not listen to his warnings, the instructor will be forced to shoot him. As you see right here, he gets some distance from the attacker with one big push, pulls the gun up, and shoots him in the chest once. The attacker does not immediately realize how badly he's injured and continues to fight for a little bit longer. However, as soon as that bullet hit center of mass, that fight was already over. He just did not realize it yet. The instructor in this situation did an amazing job. He kept his distance. He protected his draw. He drew his weapon only when he was required to. He attempted to retreat, and he attempted to de-escalate the situation. He repeatedly warned the assailant that if he did not stop, he would use deadly force. And when he had to use deadly force, he shot center of mass and only used the amount of force required to stop the assailant. But there were 2 things he could have done better. First, he should have been aware of his surroundings and not allowed the attacker to force him into a corner. His split-second decision to go right instead of left removed all avenues of escape. His second mistake was that he was not cognizant of his backdrop when he finally made the decision to shoot. If you carefully look at the clip, you'll see a man standing directly behind the attacker when he finally pulls the trigger. Despite the fact that he was most likely using hollow point self-defense rounds that are not likely to penetrate all the way through the attacker, but instead break up to cause more damage. You never want to fire at a target with innocent bystanders behind it. You don't want to accidentally miss and hit an innocent civilian. And lastly, those men showed great amount of self-control, waiting to the very last minute to shoot the attacker. I want you to know that because of the size and strength difference between these 2 men, had he been less trained and less competent with his weapon, he would have been totally justified in having shot the man earlier. The very first time the man grabbed him with both hands after having been warned that he was willing to use deadly force would have been an acceptable time for him to shoot. If you ever find yourself in a similar situation and do not feel like you have full control over the situation, you do not need to wait as long as he did. However, in the end, this is another great story about how a concealed carry weapon protects someone's rights, liberty, and property. Legally owned firearms are a very important tool for protecting your freedom and the freedom and safety of your family. If you can legally own a firearm and you feel you are mentally stable, I encourage you to buy a firearm and apply for a concealed carry or open carry permit. But if you do, you must take a safety class. You must learn how to use your weapon and you must secure it properly. Owning firearms is your right, but they are not toys. They are not there for you to play with, but they are there for you to practice with. They are not a status symbol or something you're supposed to use to show off. They are a tool. And remember, guns don't kill people. I do. Direwolf out.